Hi, it is 2024, and already there are some key job search trends that I need you to know in order to succeed in looking for an amazing job. Like, I don't want you to have to settle for just any old job. Like, we're going after a dream job, maybe. And even in this first quarter, things have been evolving and changing rapidly. These are all things that started into motion in 2023, and they've just snowballed. So I feel the need to come here and tell you what they are so you can create a job search strategy that actually works and that lands you that job you want, not just like any old thing. So stay tuned. I'm going to go through the top 5 job search trends of 2024. See you on the other side. Hello, my name is Sara. I am a certified career and leadership coach, and I help unhappy workers, people who feel stuck in their careers and their jobs and job searches, find their dream jobs or get their next promotions where they feel happy and fulfilled doing work that they love, but where they are able to work less hours, like have more of that elusive work-life balance while also making more money. It's like this amazing thing. I just love it so much. Anyway, that's what I do. And I come here every week on this little corner of YouTube that I like to call mine and drop a new training so that it can help you do the exact same thing that I do with my clients. So if you would be so kind and hit that subscribe button so that you could support my content so that I can help more and more people just like you get unstuck and get happy working in their dream jobs. Okay, this week I want to talk about the top 5 job search trends of 2024. Okay, the first one is artificial intelligence, but for job seekers. We have seen this with the launch of ChatGPT and all of the other, especially in the job search world, AI tools and platforms that help job seekers specifically. We're not talking applicant tracking systems. We're helping AI that helps you write things to applicant tracking systems. And now my concern with this is if you have watched my top traits of a successful job seeker, then you know that creativity is one of the things that I am always talking about how important it is. And sometimes I worry that artificial intelligence will dampen our ability to create, to actually work our brain and make our brain hurt to create something new and to innovate and to really change the way we approach things. However, I also talk about the importance of having a job search strategy that allows for you to do things like networking. And what I love about artificial intelligence is it speeds up the process of applying for jobs. So you can put in your resume and say, does this align with such and such posting? If not, what can I do? Instead of you analyzing the posting and analyzing your resume. So, because you don't need to be an expert at reading a posting or tweaking a resume. Like, that is not an expertise that you need to develop unless you plan on looking for a job constantly, which I'm sure you're not. So I do like artificial intelligence to speed up the job application process so that we can spend more time doing things that really have an impact, which are networking. And if you want to learn how to create a high impact networking strategy, go watch this video here. Okay. Job search trend number 2 is the evolving remote hybrid work model. And I'm saying evolving because it is changing constantly. And it seems well, I don't, it's not, it seems. Companies seem to be driving the change to get people back in the offices. So we are actually seeing less remote jobs on a whole and more hybrid jobs or even full in office jobs. So this is something you need to be thinking about throughout the entire job search. And unfortunately, what I'm seeing is people who are hired for remote positions, they're like getting asked to come back in. And even if you are pushing back, then you are being like punished in a variety of ways for doing that. So thinking about that and thinking about so here's my advice. If the company has a history of remote work, especially pre-pandemic, or it works remote all the time, like its workforce is across the country, then I think you're completely fine. Otherwise, if you're looking in an area that's talking about working remote most of the time, but there is a head office that is in, let's say if you live somewhere in Ontario and there's a head office in Toronto, you may want to keep that consideration in your mind that at some point they could go hybrid. So you might want to be using that in your job search strategy, meaning you may apply to these jobs, but in terms of your networking strategy, you may network specifically with full remote or hybrid jobs that are close to you within your commuting zone that you're willing to do. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the overwhelmed recruitment process. I was just talking to someone the other day where it was like a chief. I don't know what's up with these chief positions getting thousands of resumes. It is insane how many resumes are in applications. And I'm saying resumes because they're not all coming from people, but how many applications companies are getting for their jobs, and it is overwhelming the process. And part of the problem with the rise of AI in the corporate setting is they've reduced their recruitment teams accordingly. But unfortunately, this rise in craziness and this crazy labor market that we've been in has meant the recruitment teams are overwhelmed, which has slowed down hiring processes, which overwhelms everybody involved, hiring managers, candidates, no one's loving it. And that to me increases the need, and this is all coming down to the same thing. Let me know in the comments if you're noticing a trend. It increases the need for networking with key decision makers, not HR. They're overwhelmed. Let's not bother them. Let's talk to the people who are desperate to see quality candidates. Those are the hiring managers. So increasing our networking with them so that we can bypass this overwhelmed recruitment process, that is the key. Okay, trend number 4, hiring from networks. This kind of comes from that overwhelmed recruitment process. We're seeing hiring managers and key decision makers not even want to post jobs. They want to be fully removed from this process as much as possible because it's gotten so overwhelmed and insane. And they also don't love applicant tracking systems. The hiring managers, key decision makers, their transition to a more automated job search or recruitment process, they've not loved it. So they want to hire people they know and trust. And they do that through their network. So job search trend number 5 is the growth of LinkedIn. And this is a continued trend that we have been seeing over the years, the importance of LinkedIn. And we're seeing it, especially when we start seeing it in industries that have not typically been on LinkedIn, or regions or locations. And all of a sudden we're seeing a big boost in those industries and regions on LinkedIn, using it to create internal and external networks. Then we know LinkedIn is becoming more and more important. And we're seeing a massive trend of using LinkedIn for employer branding, for personal branding. So it is important to really wrap your head around it, have an updated profile, and spend some time on LinkedIn daily. So, did you notice the trend? The pattern, the trend of all trends is in 2024, we need more emphasis when it comes to our job searches on networking. And AI is going to allow us that time. Networking is going to allow us hyper focus on the type of remote hybrid work model we want. It's going to allow us to bypass the overwhelmed recruitment process, and it's going to allow us to directly communicate with the key decision makers who are desperate to hear from you. And we can use LinkedIn to do all of that. Now, if you are hearing these trends and you are thinking, oh, great, now I have more things to worry about. See, the applicant tracking system is ruining my chances of getting an interview. I don't know how to use LinkedIn. I guess I'll never get a good job, or I suck at networking. I think I'm just going to have to take what I get. When you are thinking things like that, we know that you have been in an incredibly tough job search, or you're incredibly stuck at work, and you have felt beaten down over and over and over again. And the thing is you're probably hearing all of what I'm saying, and it's making you feel more angry than empowered or excited. You end up feeling more discouraged than encouraged from what I'm telling you. And you really end up typically in a job you don't really want after a long job search. So if this is what you're feeling right now, if you're not like hearing what I'm saying and it's like, oh yeah, I'm so excited, I'm going to go try all of this stuff. If you're not thinking that and you're thinking any of the things I've already said, I'm going to suggest that you take some time away from your job search. And I know some of you are probably like, yeah, but I need to get paid. Like, I am desperate. I can't pay my bills. Then it could be like an hour break. It could be a day break. It could be 3-day break. It could be a week, a month, whatever. The key really is an intentional break, because there are lots of times when you aren't looking for a job, even if you are an active job seeker and you aren't currently working. But most of those times we're not doing it purposely. We're just kind of avoiding our job search, or it's like you're exhausted from a day of hitting those job boards, so you kind of just zone out. You're never really letting go of the job search. And in fact, you're usually not even letting go of your fact that you're taking time away from the job search. So having an intentional, even just an hour and a half, pick a movie you really want to watch, go somewhere for a walk, like intentionally choose to go do that. And whenever your brain is like, you should be doing, you're like, no, I'm taking a break, because that break is going to allow you to come back to yourself a bit. And it's going to allow you to hear these trends and think, okay, great. Now I know. What can I do about it? Like, this is great. I'm going to try and avoid that stupid applicant tracking system. Like, I'm just going to figure out LinkedIn. I'm going to learn how to do it. And if you need help with any of that, just like ask the question in the comments. I have so many training videos. I will just direct you to one of them that help you solve your specific problem with the job search right now. So, like, look at this. A little bit of job search trends, a little bit of coaching and trying to empower. I hope that this video was helpful. And I hope you get to that place of feeling encouraged and empowered and excited about these trends so that you can end up in that job you want. Well, I'll be here next week, so hit subscribe so you don't miss it, with a new training. I hope you have an incredible week. Take care. See you soon. Bye. If you liked this video, then I invite you to join me in the Find Your Dream Job program, where you work less, make more money, and finally feel fulfilled doing work that you love. Find out more at www.saracurto.ca/CYLA. See you there.